Welcome, guys. So this is the third episode of our series, Our Seekhein Chess, and I have seen a very nice response about the first two episodes, and I'm very excited to continue the series and keep it very easy and simple for you guys who are going ahead with learning each and every episode. So that's a very positive sign for me as well. And do let me know in the comments in case you have any suggestions for the stream or anything like that, and also feel free to message me on any of the videos. I'll try to reply back. And yes, so like, comment, subscribe, and press the bell icon so that you know when the next episode is out. So let's continue. So today we are going to learn about the bishop movement. So in the previous episodes, if we quickly recap, we have learned about the six different kinds of pieces on the board: the knight, the bishop, the queen, the king, and the pawn. Then we saw how the pawns moved. In the second episode, we saw how the knights move and how they change color every time they step. And so that's now done. Now we will move to the third piece, which is the bishop. And the bishop is also again a very important piece in the on the board. So I'll just start a match, and will show you how these moves. So let's okay. So this is a match, and now the opponent has started with the white piece. So we will start with the black pieces, and we have moved out. I'll show you. This is one very clever trap which people put it because they just want to capture the pawn, or maybe some sort of like a targeted attack, and just an illusion, because this is not attacking anything as such at the moment. The pawn is being defended, but that's for some other video. What we are going to use, we can again open with knight, but and as we saw in the previous video, knight can come here or here. But what we are going to do, we are going to open our bishop. So the idea is bishop only moves in diagonal. Now what I mean by that, so if you see, there are two bishops which we have. One is on the light squared and one is the dark squared bishop. uh, what it means is that the bishop can only move on that color on which it is set in the starting. So the light squared will only travel on the light squares no matter what point of the game we are in. It can't change the colors. The so And one more thing, right now only this bishop can move. Can you figure out any intuitive reason why is it so? You can pause the video and think for yourself though. Okay, so if you have thought correctly, well and fine. If you haven't, no big deal, because we are learning here. So the only reason why this can move, because when we are talking about the diagonal, if we want to move the bishop to a destination square, all those squares in between should be vacant. Okay, we saw in terms of pawn, in the knight it wasn't the case, but in bishop it is. So when we are moving the bishop to any square, so we can move to literally any squares till here, because the whole path is clear. Whereas for the dark colored bishop, no, only there are two diagonals, but both of them are blocked by a pawn. So it is kind of an stuck position right now. And that is the whole reason we can only move the light squared bishop. Now, coming to the, so this is very easily now demonstrated. Now let me try uh, play another game. So in this we moved it. Now whether I'm hoping he'll capture this, and then I am supposed to capture by the queen, but I'll instead play bishop and show you how we work with bishops. So okay, so he had captured. I'm not sure if it's a he or she, but yeah. So they also moved the bishop, and if you see, the light colored bishop has been used, and as per what we have discussed till now, the only diagonal it could have moved is this, and they chose to put it to this diagonal. Okay, now what's the reasoning behind this and everything we will cover later. So if we just to give a very small summary, they just want to protect this pawn, because if I capture this, okay, let's say I do, then they can capture this. Now understand very clearly what happened here. The bishop was kept on this square. Okay, now from here we have to calculate what all diagonals it has. It has one diagonal, it has other diagonal, it has one more diagonal here, and it has one more diagonal here. Okay, but the only place it could have moved are along these three. Okay, and couldn't have been anything else because the fourth diagonal is blocked by the pawn. So it can move forward, it can move backward, it can move anywhere. In the starting, it could have only moved forward because there is no backward square. So that's how it moves. So for example, if we just to give you a idea on how a dark colored bishop will move, so we have to first unblock some path. So let's say I unblock this by moving the pawn ahead so that this direction is unblocked. Now, now I can now move this in any of this direction. Okay, be very clear that it moves in one time only along one diagonal. It is not the case that okay, I'll move one step here, then I'll go through this diagonal because it's still on the dark colored and it's still going diagonally, but it's not on straight diagonal. It has to be a straight diagonal. Okay, so maybe you can in one step move it here. If let's say you want to achieve the bishop on this square, then what you can do is we can just move one step there and then try to move in the other direction. That is how you capture the entire idea of moving the bishop across the board. In case you want to go somewhere, you have to find a path, and you can't just go anywhere like that. So remember this very clearly: a dark colored bishop will always remain on the dark squares, as well as the light colored bishop will always remain on the light squared, no matter what point of the game we are in. That's why just one advice we say that bishops become useless in case the opponent's pieces are capped on the color of which our bishop is not. So let's say we have a dark colored bishop, but the opponent's pieces are on the light color. So no matter what you do with that bishop, you just can't, just with the bishop alone, you can't even touch those players. So, or should I say pieces? So that's important thing, and we'll see how that gets used in building up the play and everything. But I think this is a fair enough tutorial on showing you how the pieces move. And okay, so that should be it. Next episode we will be covering the rooks, how the rooks move, and then we will start on the other pieces of the play. So I mean other uh, developments in the play and how do we start and things like this. So that will be the further things in the series to look forward. And so that should be it for today's episode. And if you guys have liked this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. And do press the bell icon if you haven't already. And if you haven't watched the earlier episode till now, they will be somewhere in the screen, so you can click on it and then watch it. And do let me know your feedback in comments. Till then, bye. Goodbye.